How should I start this? It is a privilege to talk to y'all Nope. Nope, just run the title sequence. Hey, I'm Will, and welcome to Willfully Positive, where we are willing to do the work in order to live a positive life. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can be a part of the Willfully Positive Posse and never miss a video. Now, I've noticed how some people recoil in response to the word privilege. So we're going to explain the general idea of privilege, explain where it comes from, its subcategories, why it matters, and what we can do with it. So, let's jump in. And note that I'll be speaking of privilege more so from the American perspective, but some aspects of what I'm talking about can be applied to other cultures and societies as well. Who has privilege? Short answer, everybody, to some extent. If you want to know in what way, ask yourself who your society was created by and for. Sit on that thought for a moment because we're going to dive more into that in a bit. The next question we should probably ask is, where does privilege come from? When explaining privilege, I prefer to break it down into two categories, inherited and acquired. An inherited privilege is received by the child from the parent. It isn't necessarily something the child worked for, it just is. Now, what privileges fall into this category? White privilege, male privilege, straight privilege, cisgendered privilege, and able-bodied privilege are all inherited. Now, you might be asking, why is being white, male, straight, cisgendered, and able-bodied all privileges? And I say because the world we know today has been founded on a long history of wealthy, straight, cisgendered, able-bodied white men conquering and invading countries of black people, indigenous people, and people of color all around the world, as well as displaying, modeling, and celebrating everything that resembles their and only their image. And if you don't believe me, you can ask any American president before 2008, any American vice president before 2020, any Oscar winner for Best Actress besides Halle Berry, the Middle Eastern light-skinned Jesus, and the all-knowing, spiritual, bodiless being we know as God, who we just so happen to attach male pronouns to. All these examples and more aren't due to the fact that they just happen that way, and we have to remember that. Let's talk acquired privilege. An acquired privilege is received or built through interactions with the surrounding environment and life experiences. What are acquired privileges? Things like having a large social media following or having financial wealth. They are privileges that stem from some form of action or effort in order to attain it. You don't have them right when you're born like inherited privileges. People like Oprah Winfrey, Jim Carrey, Dolly Parton, and Jay-Z all came from families who didn't really have much, but they worked to have the fame and fortune they have today. They acquired their fame and fortune. Why not both? But wait! Can people have both inherited and acquired privileges at the same time? Yes. Yes, they can. Let's use Bill Gates as a prime example. His inherited privileges: white privilege, male privilege, straight privilege, cisgender privilege, and able-bodied privilege. His acquired privileges: financial wealth and universal fame. And the privileges vary depending on the person. Beyonce has straight, cisgendered, and able-bodied inherited privileges, as well as financial wealth and fame for her acquired privileges. Caitlyn Jenner has white, able-bodied inherited privileges, as well as financial wealth and fame for her acquired privileges. So to an extent, most people have some form of privilege, just in different ways. Do note that a parent's acquired privilege can become their children's inherited privilege. See keyword inheritance. Bill Gates worked to have the acquired wealth he has today, but his children inherited and only know life with that level of wealth. Representation. Again, remember that our culture and society was founded on white, straight, cisgendered, able-bodied men being the default. So when people discuss the topic of representation, understand that the intention is to have a world that represents more than the default, because there is more than wealthy, straight, cisgendered, able-bodied white men living on this earth. There are people with different skin tones, sexes, sexual orientations, genders, and bodies. And it's not simply about the representation in the media, on the stage, or on the screen. It's also about the representation behind the scenes, in the boardrooms, and in the leadership positions. Understanding your inherited privilege. So as you try to understand your privilege, keep in mind who founded your society and who it was founded for. Let's put an outline on the screen to help explain. I have blank privilege because the foundation of our society was created by and for blank. Therefore, I have an inherited societal and cultural advantage due to the fact that I am a blank. Okay, let's get deeper. Let's put some privileges in those spaces to help us better understand. I have white privilege because the foundation of our society was created by and for white people. Therefore, I have an inherited societal and cultural advantage due to the fact that I am a white person. Let's do another one. I have male privilege because the foundation of our society was created by and for men. Therefore, I have an inherited societal and cultural advantage due to the fact that I am a man. I have able-bodied privilege because the foundation of our society was created by and for able-bodied people. Therefore, I have an inherited societal and cultural advantage due to the fact that I am an able-bodied person. And just so you know, we don't only see privileges, we also hear them. In America, I have English-speaking privilege because the foundation of our society was created by and for English-speaking people. Therefore, I have an inherited societal and cultural advantage due to the fact that I am an English speaker. And that, my friends, is what people mean when they say you have privilege. That's where you come in. Know that your own privilege can sometimes blind you from the hardships others go through. In order to make the world a better place for all its inhabitants, you have to be willing to use the inherited and acquired privileges you have to help those with less privilege. This is where allyship comes into play. If you are white, fight for the black people, indigenous people, and people of color's rights, their voices to be heard, and their representation in front and behind the scenes. If you are a man, do the same for women. If you are wealthy, do the same for the less wealthy. If you are straight, do the same for the LGBTQ+ community. If you are cisgender, do the same for your trans, agendered, and gender fluid neighbors. If you are able-bodied, do the same for the disabled. Bottom line, if we all make the effort to take care of each other and make diversity the default, we will all be taken care of, we will all be represented, and we will create a world that is meant for everyone. Thanks for watching. If you found value in this video, be sure to like it and share it. And don't be scared, hit that subscribe button so you can catch all my future videos like this one. Until next time, y'all, peace, love, and willful positivity. See you next time.